For more on the administration's tough stance on Iran, we're joined tonight by John Sitilides, former policy principal at Trilogy Advisors. John, nice to have you with us. What is the best move right now to reel in Iran or at least improve relations? How do you see it?
I'm not sure there's going to be much room for improvement of relations unless you see behavior change on the part of the government in Tehran, Ed. Candidate Trump made very clear this was the worst agreement he had ever seen in his life and talked about ripping it up. The Tillerson letter makes clear that that policy is on standby right now. But I do think that the next 90 days we're going to see a clarification of Trump's policy towards Iran and probably a much more aggressive enforcement of the nuclear agreement and possibly any sanctions that may be attendant. And also, I think very much removing the isolation under which the nuclear agreement was struck 2 years ago and looking to link all of the issues that Tillerson has spoken about and written about in the letter and tie them very closely into the enforcement of the agreement.
All right. If Iran is such a bad player, why is the United States squawking more about this than anybody else? Where's the United Nations? Is it a united front?
It's not a united front, Ed. I'm not sure the United Nations has any meaningful role to play here, but I think Iran has very cleverly positioned itself as an important potential trade partner and investment partner for European economies that want very much to do business with Iran, especially to help exploit Iran's natural resources, oil and natural gas. Russia, of course, has been selling major arms systems to Iran and also helping to develop the nuclear energy program. And there are other countries that see a very significant market in the Middle East that was closed off because of international sanctions. So I think the pursuit of deals is driving most of the other countries' relationships with Iran. And it's the U.S. that's very much concerned with larger stability in the Middle East, upholding and reassuring our Sunni allies in the region, and making sure that the world's largest and most influential state sponsor of terrorism doesn't continue to destabilize and to threaten regimes elsewhere in the Middle East and beyond.
Does the verbiage and the vernacular that's being used by Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, is that driving Iran and North Korea closer together, especially when the conversation of sanctions comes up, as you saw in Alexi's piece there? What do you think?
I don't think that Secretary Tillerson's language is necessary to achieve that. Iran and North Korea have had a relatively good relationship for quite some time, and there's actually been concern that North Korea's drive for hard currency might lead it to sell off-the-shelf weapon systems to Iran, including potentially nuclear weapons if they hit a major snag in the development of those armaments in the years to come. But they've been working together where they're able to in order to achieve common goals of holding back U.S. power, prestige, and those of their Western allies. So I don't think Secretary Tillerson's language is having any new effect there. That relationship is already in place, Ed.
All right. John Sitilides, always a pleasure. Good to have you with us tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.